Good day, everyone. We are the Group 10 reporters. So, our topic is talk all about weather at its worst.
Weather at its worst. Reading weather maps involves interpreting various symbols and lines to understand the current conditions of the weather for each specific areas. And reading weather maps, meteorology or meteorologist is the one that studies the Earth atmosphere in order to forecast the weather condition and the climate. The weather forecast will be the one to forecast the weather condition to help the human and make decisions to plan their activities. There are different elements that appear in weather maps. First is the isobars, second anticyclone depressions, fronts, and the last is wind. The first element weather maps is isobars is a line on the weather map connecting points of equal atmospheric pressure. Weather maps help visualize pressure patterns, identify the areas of high pressure and low pressure influencing weather condition. Isobars are have atmospheric pressures is measured in millibar or heptopascals with the use of barometers. Anticyclones under pressures have a smooth atmospheric pressure of 1013 millibars. Above 1013 MB have an anticyclone or high pressure. Below 1013 MB we have the depression or low pressure. Anticyclone is a weather system is characterized by the movements of air spiraling outward from high pressure center. Anticyclones is generally brings fair weather and skies. Depressions on the other hand, as a weather system is associated with low pressure, where it converges and rises. Depression this brings often unsettled weather, cloudiness, and precipitations. Fronts from the boundaries between the air masses with different temperatures and humidity characteristics. When the warm air masses meets cold air masses, the less dense warm air is forced to rise over the dense cold air. This process is lead to the development of a front. There are four elements of the weather front. First is the cold, second warm, third stationary, and last is occluded. Cold front is a front when the cold air mass pushes under a warm air masses, forcing the warm air to rise. As the fronts move through, cool weather is likely to follow, which means forms cloud and rains. It is presented with the blue triangles. Warm fronts is bring gentle rain or light snow followed by the warmer, milder weather. These warm front symbols is represented with red semicircles. A stationary front. It forms when warm and cold air meet and neither air mass has the force to move the others. It they remain stationary. It means the boundary between air masses which are not moving. These stationary fronts bring many days and clouds and precipitations, and these symbols is represented with the alternation of blue triangle and red semicircles. The occluded front, when the warm air masses rises as the cold air masses push and meet in the middle of the atmospheres. And this can bring strong winds and heavy precipitation. This symbol is represented with an alternation of purple triangles and semicircles. The last element of the weather map is wind. Wind is earned in the movement of atmosphere. Wind is only possible if there is a difference of pressure in the atmosphere. The wind always blows from high pressures to low pressure areas. And the weather map we can see and know how strong a wind is depending on the distance between the isobars.
So, next is there are three key components of scientific method and decision making process in various fields, such as observation, analysis, and prediction. We all know that science is a way of improving our knowledge and understand of nature, and it has helped us to understand in our world we make an observation. So, observation is a collecting information using one of five senses. Therefore, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and tasting. So, the word phenomenon, it is a happening or event that we can be observed with our senses. Then, the plural of phenomenon is phenomena. In science, the word phenomenon, it is used to describe something really spectacular or everything that's happened, things that can be observed with using the senses. Observation, nganha na to ma-feel or makita na hala gadagom or lain ang hangin or pwede substitute or weather instrument na ila ma-detect na may ila ya obserbahan na lahi na dyan ang panahon. So, kaya obserbahan naman nila, next then is pag-analyze. Analysis is the data that is being analyzed to identify patterns of weather. In knowing the future weather forecast, analyzing the data can determine the weather condition. So patterns is a repeated occurrence or sequence. Trends is the general direction in which something is changing. Then ang relationship is connecting or association between concept or idea. So, sa analysis, if naiila data na magather, ang padayon nila i-analyze para make it sure ang pag-prediction. For example, like, may makita nila na data sa system, then ang mga meteorologists ilayaon istadihan o i-analyze para makaprovide ng sakto ng tagna ng ato panahon. So, na-analyze naman siya, ang padayon i-prediction. So, sa prediction, kay tapos naman siya na-analyze o yahibawan na ang data, so ila nagkabali matag na uno siya na klase na weather condition nga dapat nila forecast. For example, like may ila nakuha na data sa radar or sa satellite na may low pressure na pasod sa ato area, ila yaon i-analyze like uno siya kakusog, uno siya kapaspas, uno kayaon na low pressure, ila yaon saktuhon pag-analyze para makapredict sila hain ang low pressure na igo na area. Kibali truth prediction, ila mahi-forecast hain ang area na affected ng, for example, like bagyo.
A long-range forecast refers to a weather prediction that extends beyond the typical 7 to 10 days forecast. It provides an outlook for weather condition over a period of several weeks or even months. Long-range forecasts are based on various factors such as historical weather patterns, climate models, and statistical analysis. However, it's important to note that the accuracy of long-range forecast decreases as the forecast period extends further into the future. So, so there are several types of long-range forecast that are commonly used. Number one, seasonal forecast. So, seasonal forecast, these forecasts provide an outlook for weather conditions over an entire season such as summer or winter. They based on historical climate data, oceanic patterns, and atmospheric conditions. So, an example nini ang seasonal forecast is naga-forecast siya sa kada season. For example, kuman na season is kuman December. So, for example, sa gawas, kuman na season is ting winter siya kuman. And for example, sa ato nga is ting uwan. Amin siya amihan. So, amo yung anila gina-forecast ang weather or mauwan ba or may bagyo ba. So, amo yung siya an example. So, number 2, monthly forecast. Monthly forecast predict weather patterns and conditions for a specific month. They take into account factors such as climate patterns, historical data, and global weather patterns. So, a monthly forecast. So, for example, kada buwan siya na ga forecast sa ato weather. For example, adkuman December, kumana buwan December gina forecast niyan weather. So, kuan sa gid sa ato na Ang December gid is commonly ko na sa gid siya ting-uwan sa gid sa ato kibali yun. So amin siya kada buwan gina-forecast niya, or for example how yun buwanan Mayo, so tingsuga yon siya sa kuman sa December, so ting-uwan, so amin siya for example ng monthly forecast. So kada buwan niya gina-forecast ang weather kung sakto ba. So, number 3, climate outlooks. So, climate outlooks provide prediction for a long-term climate trends over a period or several months or years. These consider factors such as El Nino, La Nina events, oceanic oscillations, and other climate indicators. So, ini in climate outlook sub. So, for example, yun masobrang bitawan kuan weather guman lang talang ting suga masobraan mo abot na niyaon moabot ng tag pila ka buwan or maabot ba ng tuig hudyon. So ang grabing suga mga tahay naan kuan mga tahay naan mga lupa manliki na. So ang tawag yun sa iya is climate change. Climate change. Ang tawag yun sa iya is kuan El Nino. El Nino ang tawag yun sa iya. Amin siya an climate outlook. So gina-forecast niya kibali whole year na how diyon ang weather is abnormal kibali siya. Sobra na bitaw. Kumbaga ang tingsuga is sobra na. So amin siya mag-cause ng El Nino. So nga kita sa last sa number 4 is extended range forecast. Extended range forecast typically cover a period of 10 days. They utilize computer models and statistical analysis to predict weather patterns beyond the typical 7-day forecast. So, extended range, for example, ini is kabantay kami yun kuan lang ang talang. Kumbaga ya predict na daan niya ba. Gi-predict na daan nila. So, layo pa for example, may bagyo, layo pa ang bagyo. Nang talang mo abot kibaling bagyo kuman December. So ang bagyo kibali mo abot lang ang talang January pa. So kibali ako na nila, kumbaga predict na nila na kuman January may moabot na bagyo, may low pressure area, kabantay kami yon. So amin siya an extended range forecast an example. Kumbaga gi-predict na daan nila an kuan weather or an moabot na bagyo diyon. For example itong kuan to solar storm bitaw ma'am na yahitabo na kuan na viral solar storm. So kumbaga wala pa yan moabot sa ato sa kuman, pero ilan na daan kibali predict na may tendency na mayon mawaan mga signal, mayon may tendency na moabot yan siya sa ato mawaan signal, pero predict na daan nila ba bisan layo pa kibali bisan wala pa moigo. Amin siya an example na extended range forecast. That's all, ma'am, and thank you.